Okay, in this video, I just want to go over what the programming, will look like from kind of like a top level. Um, so this little table here, this is not actually not the exact one I'm using. This is from a similar workout, but not quite the same. But the information here is still tells you what you need to know. So basically, on the left column is the week number. So week one, workout one, workout two, workout three. So this is three workouts a week, like I mentioned. And then the next column will be the number of sets you're going to do in that particular workout. The rep range is what I was alluding to. That's kind of a little different here. This 10 to 15 rep range is more like this hybrid, this hybrid metabolic endurance type thing. What I'm doing in this program is having a very strict sort of strength phase for a 4 week period, which would be like low reps, 2 to 6. A metabolic phase for another 4 weeks. That would be in kind of more like the 8 to 12 rep range. And then, the endurance phase would be the other 4 weeks, which would be a little higher rep than this, more like 12 to 20. So, I mean, you get the idea. It's all, the reps are based on really the objective of that training segment. And then this intensity column here is just meant to show you kind of like that because I mentioned that the intensity varies workout to workout through each week. So you'll see that a three and a 2 set workout is kind of medium intensity. A 1 set workout is an easy. And this is in general how we go. We go in the beginning of the week when we're fresh. We're doing sort of higher intensity workouts, and they kind of get easier as you go through the week. But as you go week to week, it's actually getting hard. It's building. It's getting more difficult. And then the workout column is really just trying to show you that we are switching back and forth between these two workouts. I mentioned there's kind of a weighted workout, which we're calling the kettlebell workout, meaning we're using kettlebells, but we could be using really anything. It could be dumbbells, you could be using barbells. But so sort of the weighted version. And then we have the body weight version, which is BW. And then I mentioned that there's really no hip hinge movement with body weight only, so that's why we add the deadlift in. So this just shows you that first workout we do this, the next workout we switch, and then the third workout we're back to kettlebells, and it just switches back and forth every week. So in week one you do two of one and one of the other, and it changes week to week. The dynamic component is something we add on at the end. That's really just kind of this conditioning for aerobic conditioning, and really just add a little more fat burning to the workout. It doesn't occur every workout. It's kind of like every 3 workouts you do it twice, so you don't do it 1 out of 3. You kind of give it a little rest. So that's what this is just showing, whether or not there is a dynamic component as part of this workout. And you'll see that in this next table that I'm going to show you. So I'll scroll down a little bit. You can kind of see how week 2 we went from whatever we had. What do we have there? Week 1, medium, medium, easy. Week 2 is a hard workout, a medium workout, and a medium workout. And then week 3 actually got cut off, but it basically started out 2 hard workouts and then probably had an easy at the end. Again, this is just showing you how this thing builds in intensity over time. So I think many questions on that, just ask those in the questions below the video. And then here's just a table showing the 2 different workouts. This would be the what we're calling the body weight and deadlift workout. This is, I go up here, this one says DL plus BW. That's this thing right here. And basically just showing you we're basically going to do 2 supersets. One is the pull squat movement, which is typically for body weight, is pull-ups. And then the squat can be a lunge or some sort of a split squat. And I mentioned to you, there's all kinds of different things we can do here. If you can't do a pull-up, right, this is where you do these other progressions that are part of this movement. But for simplicity, we just say it's either a pull-up or a lunge or a split squat for the first superset. In the second superset, you do the deadlift, which is the hinge movement, and a push-up, which is a push movement. Again, all kinds of different variations you could do that still accomplish these 2 movements. It's the movements we want to do. We're not so concerned with the actual exercise that you do for them, as long as you're getting the intensity right, you're getting it in the right rep range. And And then we have the what's called, the carry, which is the fifth human movement: push, pull, hinge, squat, and carry. For the body weight, we might do crawls. I do this, if you're training outside. If you're in the gym, this is hard to do. What I tend to do is just do farmer's walks on both, whether or not I'm in this workout or the weighted workout. I'll do farmer's walks primarily. The intensity workout. This is that dynamic component I mentioned that you have here in this last column. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. If you have the dynamic workout, it could be something like burpees, could be sprints if you're working outside, could be thrusters. A lot of times what we'll do is just kettlebell swings, which is what you'll see in the next table because it's easy to do inside of a gym. But a dynamic workout is something where you're doing something explosive, where each rep it's either like a sprint, which is a single explosive event, or something like a swing where every rep is kind of an explosive movement. So this would be what the one kind of workout looks like. Workout one, let's just say. Let's move down to this other page. And here would be looking at what maybe the weighted one would look like, what we call the kettlebell workout. So this would same movements, push, hinge, but you do overhead press, that's OHP, and a swing, which is the hip hinge. So you do swings actually right within this supersetting, and then you're doing a row movement for the pull, and then some sort of a weighted squat, kettlebell front squat. It could be a goblet squat, it could be other types of squats, but you get the idea. Push hinge again with the first superset, pull squat, second superset, and you're doing some sort of a weighted exercise. The carry is typically, like I said, is just the farmer's walk, which is a weighted, carry weight in both hands. You could do shoulder carries. You could do, any kind of a bear hug of a sandbag. A lot of different ways to do carries. And then the swing movement again for that dynamic workout that applies to every, 2 out of 3. Typically, we're doing the kettlebell swing. So that's kind of how it looks like at a high level. You're doing these two different workouts. This is the weighted one. This is the sort of the body weight plus deadlift one, and you switch back and forth every workout between those two. So it's either weighted or body weight and back and forth. The intensity changes as you move through the week, starting out sort of at the high level. Each week it starts out high and sort of ramps down, but week to week it's ramping up. You're doing more and more volume. And then we have that dynamic component that's there 2 out of 3. And this is just all part of making sure you're not overtraining and getting enough rest. Alrighty.